This is the Smartquest. This is the 2017 to 2020 R179 review. Smartquest number 3, R179 review. This is the 2017 to 2020 R179, the new face of the A, C, J, and Z trains. They are numbered 3010 to 3327. 3010 to 3049 are on the A as 4 10-car trains. 3050 to 3149 are 12.5 sets are on the J and Z based out of East New York Yard. 3150 to 3237 are on the C, that's 11 sets, and 3238 to 3327 are on the A, 9 sets. 3010 to 3049 and 3150 to 3327 are all based out of Pitkin Yard. You guys already know about the A, C, J, and Z relationship. There are 318 cars. Now the R179 is the upgraded version of the R160, and you feel it, especially when you're on the C. I wouldn't say that it's the R188 of the B division, but I will say that it's an updated prototype R160. The MTA stuck with the design of the R160 for this model, and I like that very similar to it in a lot of ways, especially interior-wise. Exterior is a bit different though. I mean, they have little features that differentiate it from the R160, like a smaller front door, a narrower body, and different decal placement, and especially the propulsion. That set them apart from them, and that's about it. But personally, I like the R188 more. I mean, the R179 doesn't even have a new smell like the R188 and M9 do, but I guess that's just a Kawasaki thing for a train to have a new smell. It still feels new though. All the metal is new, all the parts, the plastic. Disappointingly, the R160 is not compatible with the R179, but if they were, the two propulsions wouldn't match anyway. They don't want fleet mixing, I guess. I like how they reset They share some portions of their predecessor brother, the R142. They're clean, feel new, and have a very sophisticated technological system. A conductor once told me that the new window hinders the view of the conductor. The not in service sign is so nice looking. The R179's doors are sturdy and well placed, not loose and flexible like the R160's. The design is wonky, techy, and robotic, and only one thing comes to mind when I think of these trains: robotic R179 toffee pretzels. Propulsion could get annoying after a while, and it is pretty loud and screechy sounding, but it's a relatively quiet train when you're inside it, as the upgraded HVAC sounds quieter when it is idle, and the soundproofing techniques used are getting better. They do feel heavy though when they hit the tracks and do these speed pumps. All the new metal, all the new parts when moving at a very high speed tends to shake a little bit. The voice announcement system is so clear, it's like listening to TV on a PS4 for the first time. It's that clear. These are both extremely memorable experiences. I love how clear it sounds, and I would love to make an announcement using this system one day. The R179 sound futuristic. They're just as fast, if not faster than, the R160s. Bombardier really cares about safety though. The wall pose though, such an improvement and lifesaver. This is wonderful. Now the way these trains bump and their heavy feel is awesome. The decal placement is a bit strange, as well as the area between the cars, and definitely takes some getting used to. I'm not 100% crazy about it. The wider windows was a nice choice. It makes the train have an elongated feel. Fine screens are bigger and the text clear and the announcements louder. They feel mechanical, and I love how the doors click. Also the curved handle thing that no one will notice, the flag placement, the wider body door frame, and other outside details, silent HVAC and loop stanchions, and the technology looks more sophisticated. Doors are quieter and they click. Door chime is that of the R142. You are literally witnessing the oldest train in New York City alongside the newest train in New York City. Very ironic. I wonder if they did that for a reason. Let's go. Thank you. Please be far rock, please be far rock. Okay, so you have these things here called loop stanchions. That's what they're called. I called them double poles in the last review, but they're called loop stanchion. The door is much like the R188's. This comes from the R160. The windows are much wider. The body it looks a little wider from here actually than the R160s. I never really noticed that before. Yeah. I wonder which train is going to leave first. I mean, that one signed up to Leopard, so that really can't go first because they got the Far Rock scheduled to go first. But, yeah. The white part here is more intense than other models. The fine screen is much bigger. You can see this like ring around the train over here. Yeah, that is new. Like this part right here. We go on and on, but okay.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A Express train.
Never been on a Far Rock movie.
The next stop is Dyckman Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Let's go get a picture of this fine screen here at Far Rockaway.
The next stop is 190th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Now these trains are extremely fast. Like a fan of mine, John K, said, the R179s are rocket trains. You are absolutely right. In November, I rode 3264 from the Rockaway Flats to Fulton Street. This train I call the Bird. Riding it on the express chute was amazing. I rode 3288 and 3298, which were pretty fast as well, but what really sealed the deal was riding 3285 from Hoyt Schimmelhorn to 145th Street. That was the fastest trip home on the A that I've ever taken. Ever. If you thought they were fast on the J, you have to check them out on the A. And the acceleration and deceleration rate is crazy. I've never seen a train stop that smoothly and quickly before. The only train that could really outmatch it is the R188 with CBTC turned on. But you have to ride one of these over the Rockaways. Man, is that an experience. It felt like a new tech adventure riding an R179 to the Rockaways, and I didn't know what to expect. It was calm, relaxing, and the cool tech feel of the R188 and the intrepid out there adventure feel of the Rockaways on a far journey. Both of these elements combined, and with the speed and freedom of the Rockaway Flats, it's made my first R179 ride in the Rockaways on 3258 a memorable one. I later repeated this on 3303 to 3307. I went to Far Rock twice. Riding these out to Queens along with the nice XD60 makes your day fanning-wise. R179s and blusses. In late 2016, 3010 to 3019 had made it to New York City and were doing testing. It continued testing for a year, even running on the C, which I caught in the winter of 2019. On December 18, 2017, I saw 3054 to 3057 testing out of the blue on the Fulton line. When would these trains come to the A and C? I was nervous. Would these trains have mechanical problems? I remember the first R179 I rode, 3058, like it was yesterday. On November 27th, having searched the J a few days before to no avail, I rode an R32 to Marcy Avenue, and I knew that a train looked different, newer, from the RFW. I saw 3058 to 3065. I tried to get it, but Marcy Avenue doesn't have transfers, so I paid again and went to Canal Street. The lights were really bright in the tunnel, and it felt awesome. And new, heavy, futuristic, quiet, and nice. I rode it from Canal to Marcy. It was one of the greatest days in that November. I could tell that it was built by Bombardier by the features that it had concerning the signs. From November to June, I then revisited the J. I rode 3058 to 3069, hardly able to believe that this futuristic era had come, almost as if the prototypes of our dreams had manifested into reality. Eventually, 3050 to 3057 came on the J, and I rode it express and local in May. It felt like riding an R188, but this time on the J. I rode my first 3100, number 3110, hardly believing that the order had gotten so high so fast, on June 17, 2018, from JFK Airport to 121st Street. Why were the 3070s and 3080s missing though? I wanted to ride the J again in February 2019, but since there were so many R179s, I lost interest. Too many new trains make you feel old quick. At this time, they looked very dusty. I revisited 3063, the Pilot, on October 3rd, which was also the first time I saw an R179Z. Before this, in my head, it was only a myth, and I still have yet to ride it. Then I rode 3055, another Pilot, and 3133, and 3081, 3122, 3097, 3138. Riding all these trains in the fall, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. After June 17, 2018, I didn't touch the R179s until November 28th. When I saw an R179C at 135th Street going uptown from the A, it was 3150 to 3157. I decided to ride 3155 to 168th Street, and I was filled with so much hype for at least an hour. The trains I had waited for enjoyed on the J, now on my home line, the C. I could hardly believe it, although I was prepared from prior experience on the J. I rode it intermittently in the fall and winter, and they felt normal, like they fit right in. 3219 was my first 3200 on the C, and 3226 to 3229 was my first R179C that I rode on Central Park West Local. Regardless of these being newer than the ones on the J, these feel older because they're so dirty, but anything new on the C will get dirty immediately, except for a SME, of course. Now for the A, the line where, in my opinion, these work the best and stand out the most. First, I saw 3010 to 3019 for the first time at 59th Street sometime around February, March. Then I saw it at 104th Street, not in service. It felt so weird seeing the A designation and seeing an R179 run express. On April 9th, I rode the R179A train for the very first time, 3012, into parts unknown. Just kidding, from 145th Street to Dyckman Street, being overwhelmed with hype. It was finally in my neighborhood. A brand new train so close to home, once so far away from me. Now 3010 looks significantly older than its counterparts because it is the oldest of them all. May 28th, 2019, I saw an R179A train 3238 in service heading to Far Rockaway for the first time. The first 3200 I rode on the A was 3240 on June 17th, 2019. I saw 3200s at Leffers in the summer a few times, and my first R179 ride on Central Park West Express was 3253. My first rides in Washington Heights were 3241, 3245, 3248, and 3286. Riding these trains through the Heights was so amazing and so fun. I rode 3298 to 3307 a couple times in the Heights as well, and they felt so clean, these two being the two I bonded with the most. My first 3300 was 3303. I saw 3286 on the A at Fulton Street. It was the first to come around September. September to November was when the R179 craze for me occurred, where almost every train I rode was an R179. In fact, the majority of the R179s I rode were during the fall of 2019, and the rest is history. It feels so different having R179s on the A, making the A into a different line as it becomes part of normalcy. But I'm just happy the A has something new. The A train is losing weight as the R179s, becoming more frequent, become a part of everyday life. I can't even call the A fat anymore. What am I going to call fat now? Oh yeah, you then. But you'll be gone soon. You then, I guess. I remember the days where I'd flip out about an R32A. Now look where we are. The journey has become the destination. It's so astounding seeing the R179A and C side by side. The A finally agreeing completely with his brother on equipment. This was an anticipated dream come true. It's cool riding them in the mountain at 190th Street especially, my former home station. It feels weird and cool. And riding them past 81st Street Museum of Natural History, pumping past the dinosaurs. The ones on the A and C feel industrial, while the ones on the J and Z feel mystical. Now let's talk about the splash which the R179 made in the pool of the MTA. Surely 36.5 full-length trains have made a serious dent in the subway system. Now 3050 to 3149 pushed all the R32s which were on the J and Z back to the A and C, East New York to Pitkin Yard, and the R143s back to the L, although you will occasionally see R143J trains from time to time. But now the A and C are the only places where you can see the R32s. But even when the R32s tried to escape the R179 invasion, they were followed by the fleet. Now they are matched or sometimes even dwarfed by the presence of these new trains. 3150 to 3237 went to the C, and this, along with the restoration of its R32s, sent the borrowed R160s here back to the J, M, and Z lines, back to East New York Yard, and pushed the R46s here back to the A, making the C's fleet exclusively R32 or R179, and the J's fleet R160 to R179, with the occasional R42 or R143. So the A got its R46s back with R32s. But the new order still wasn't done. Oh no, far from it. 3010 went in service on February 10th, 2019. Then 3238 went into service in May. The 3200s kept coming, until 3327 was delivered in November, tested in December, and hit service on blank. And 3020 to 3049 came as well, with the last R179 A train, 3040 to 3049, delivered on blank and tested on blank and entered into service on blank. 3238 to 3317 as of now, along with pilot 3010 to 3019, have made the R32A less common, although somehow the R68AA is still unfazed. And besides this, it pushed the 5800s R46s on the A over to Jamaica Yard, causing a surplus in R46F and R service. I assume that the C holds almost all the R32s, although one day I did see 6 R32s on the A around rush hour. Speaking of fleet mobility, singles and 2-car sets were brilliant ideas for their time, making the cars accessible to any line. But now it's the future, and the MTA wants more cars to be in 4 and 5-car sets to restrict the mobility of the cars on different routes. Okay, that's it. Wait, huh? What's that? Breaking news! Recently, due to the surplus of trains, the R46s had to move to Jamaica, and due to the CBTC switch being flipped on the Queens Boulevard line, the R46s there are preparing to move to Coney Island Yard to the N, Q, W, P, and G lines. No more R46F and R, ever. The R160s from Coney Island will replace these R46s, leaving fewer R160 N, Q, and Ws in existence. These trains will not have reefed anything as of now, but they will scrap the R42s, maybe by the end of 2020, and maybe some R32s and 46s eventually. But right now it's just fleet expansion. This is probably because they want to make sure that the trains are confirmed to be good to go, based off of 2 years' experience, and not repeat the mistake they made with the SMEs in 2010. That mistake being getting rid of all the R32s, 38s, 40s, 42s, and 44s, and having a car shortage. Now for CBTC. I really hope that these R179s came with CBTC on board so that they could potentially run on the L as well, but I heard that the MTA will install it on site, probably on the East New York R179s.
Overall, these trains are awesome and will always stand out in your mind. Like them or not, they're here. They'll be loved, they're cool, comfortable, and fun to ride. With all being said, that wraps up our video. Yes, I am aware of the flaws and I'll be covering that in another video, but for the sake of this review, I give these trapezoid trains a 9.5 out of 10. Please subscribe and stay blessed.